Hello and welcome back to Pokémon Legends Z-A, where today we are going to get the donut shop to reopen. As it is closed, which has prevented me from doing any hyperspace exploration. So yeah, I need it to reopen. One look into the Lumiose Museum and you can tell it's remarkable. If buildings were Pokemon trainers, this one would be a champion for sure. I've never had a chance to visit, even with how close it is to Hotel Rishisim. I'll be our tour guide, as long as you two don't mind that I know nothing about art. By all means. Then let's begin with that painting over there. Lead the way, Miss Karina, she says before taking off before Karina. What a fantastical looking city. Does such a place really exist? Yeah, though this painting is a little bit inaccurate to the real place. For one, the clock only goes up to 12 instead of 13. It sure does. The gym leader there is pretty mystifying herself. That tree in the painting's supposed to be 1,500 years old. Maybe AZ watched it grow up. I'm sure his long years of wandering took him to all kinds of places. I would quite like to see this 1,500-year-old tree. It's ours for the seeing. People can go practically anywhere as long as they've got Pokemon. My dear mama once told me the same thing. She said it's part of what makes a trainer's partnership with their Pokemon so amazing. I've gone all over the place with Lucario and the rest of my team, and I think your mom's spot on. Okay, let's see what's upstairs. One truly appreciates the scale of Lumiose City when seeing it laid out this way. Hotel Rishisim in this museum would be over there, right? Indeed, they're a fairly long way from Hotel Z, with many people filling the city between them. Yeah, this city's sheer charm draws all kinds of people here. Though Lumiose can also be a disaster magnet. That big power outage, the tower running wild, and now there's Hyperspace Lumiose too. That's true. As much as I hope to find that fine legendary Pokemon in hyperspace, the idea that Hyperspace Lumiose could merge with Lumiose is troubling. It'll be fine. In the background, that girl is right on the edge of where the game wants to draw in, I'm guessing, her high poly and low poly models. So she keeps flickering. It almost feels like she's more of a hologram than the hologram we're looking at. Yeah, that's why we're doing all this survey work, to make sure things turn out okay. Plus, we're gonna find what's causing all this rogue mega evolution and stop it. We won't let those poor Pokemon keep suffering. Indeed, I'll make donuts diligently to support you. Is it all right if we go see what's on display over there? You bet! Oh boy, time for more NPCs to try and sell an existing game to us. Hey, you done flickering? Good. So, Hotel Z... Oh. Hotel Z is right there at the top of my head. Which means that we are right about here? Or is it here? Either way. It's remarkable that people in the olden days used handmade Pokeballs to catch Pokemon. They sure had it rough. Thank goodness we can mass produce them now, like at the Pokeball factory here in Kalos. Getting interested in catching some Pokemon for yourself, Ansha? Seems more like you're Hoopa's friend than its trainer, but I bet you'd do a great job. I'm not quite sure I'm up to the challenge of becoming a Pokemon trainer, especially considering the examples I'd have to live up to, such as my dear mighty mama. Being a Pokemon trainer doesn't mean you have to try to be the strongest one, you know? Although, I'm curious how it'd feel to reach rank A in the Z-A Royale. Anything to share, Garnet? Is Ansha gonna turn out to be Diantha's daughter? Like, they don't look a lot alike. But Diantha would be rich enough. And just the way Ansha's hair is shaped reminds me of the way the... Were they braids on Diantha's hair were? Yeah, I was too busy to notice reaching rank A, really. It was... And honestly, I wasn't over the moon because they stole my wish from me. Makes sense. You were doing it so you could stop the tower from wrecking the city, after all. Well, Ansha, if you change your mind about becoming a Pokemon trainer, let us know. I'll put you through my special coaching process. You're very kind. I'll consider it. Shall we move on to the next exhibit? Shall we ever? This is the Temple of Sinnoh. They say some legendary Pokemon appeared here. The tiles on the bottom of the screen are having some issues. What if we found a section of hyperspace Lumios resembling this temple? That would certainly be interesting. Do you think the fine legendary Pokemon I'm looking for would be there? Probably not. Hard to say. Maybe? If the Pokemon you're after had something to do with this temple, that is. That would make sense. Hey, don't forget you've already got a spectacular Pokemon in Hoopa right there. Maybe it seems like no big deal since you're together all the time, but that one's special. Yeah, how'd you meet Hoopa anyway? I happened upon Hoopa... Oh, I suppose it was about 6 months ago now. The poor thing looked much the worse for wear. It seemed to have just lost a battle with a mighty Pokemon it played a prank on. But I fed Hoopa a fresh-baked donut and it perked up straight away. It's stuck by my side ever since and helped me visit hyperspace as well. Whoa, so your donuts were so tasty that they unlocked Hoopa's inner power? I guess people in Pokemon meet for a reason, even if we're not their trainers. Okay, my turn to pick an exhibit. Follow me. But I haven't gotten to pick one yet. Wait, Miss Karina. I'd just like to point out, I've said this before. This line here. A lot of people are saying, oh, Volo's still alive. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. That he's still alive. Like, the fact that he donated it himself. Well, actually, hang on. There's sketches by Leventon, blah, blah. I skipped the text that might matter. A partial facsimile was found in the shed of a private house in the Sinnoh region. When? Doesn't say. So the information we have does not necessitate that Volo is still alive. Because this is a museum in Paris, France. Could have been set up over a century ago, for one. Could have been set up 2 or 3 centuries ago. In fact, when was the Louvre built? I don't know that this specifically is meant to be the Louvre, but still. Ah, yes. The Louvre opened as a public museum in 1793. It's entirely possible, though not likely, that Volo was in fact still alive when this place was built and donated his stuff personally. The fact that he saw sketches from Leventon's Pokédex that were discovered in a private residence in Sinnoh makes it less likely. But still. Check out this painting, Ansha. What is that place? It's called the Tower of Mastery. I trained there for ages. Did you always know you wanted to be a Pokemon trainer, Miss Karina? Not exactly. When I was a kid, my parents were super busy, kind of like yours, Ansha. I hung out with my grandpa a lot, and naturally I started to follow in his footsteps. That's how I ended up becoming a trainer. Is our conversation about whether you want to be a trainer weighing on you? I suppose so. It's mostly to do with my dear mama. I look up to her very much, so I'd love to be able to gift her with that fine Pokemon. But if I became a trainer, I worry I'd never live up to the standard she's set. Maybe, maybe not. I bet as long as you do what you really want, she'll be happy for you. That's what my grandpa wanted for me anyway. Although he does sometimes sigh and ask what happened to the quiet little kid I used to be. Goodness. Either way, you're already amazing, Ansha. Even if you aren't a trainer, you've befriended a Pokemon like Hoopa. That's really something. Anyway, I think I'm all museumed out. Should we head back to the Blue District and visit Café Soleil? Yes, please. Welcome. May I help you? So this is Café Soleil. What a lovely looking place. I'll order for us. Go ahead and grab a seat. Do you take your coffee with sugar, Ansha? I'll try without. That's how my dear mama takes hers. This is the flavor Mama loves so much? I may need to wait and approach it again when I'm a bit more grown up. Your Soleil blend is looking real good to me. Trade you for my Moo Moo milk tea? If you don't mind that I've already taken a sip. Deal. Let me guess, Hoopa, you're thinking you'd rather have one of Ansha's donuts than this stuff. You get an amazing boost of power whenever you eat one of Ansha's donuts, right? But even so, you took a licking from some amazing Pokemon before Ansha found you? And then you went and took Ansha into hyperspace with you. I guess I'm just now realizing how glad we should be that she came back unharmed. We wouldn't be able to do any of our survey work in Hyperspace Lumiose without you two. So if things get rough, ask us for help. We gotta take care of you. Let's keep up the good work for all of Lumiose's sake. When you think about it, what Ansha's doing is way more impressive than just being a trainer. Right, Garnet?
It definitely is impressive.
Thank you for saying so. Looking back, it was reckless of me to dive headlong into hyperspace Lumiose. But when Hoopa pried open that distortion, I simply couldn't fight my curiosity. Yeah, that's human nature. Who wouldn't want to try to peek through and see what's on the other side? You'd do the same, right, Garnet?
I mean, I've got strong Pokemon, so yeah, I'd totally peek.
I knew it! Wow, I lost track of time chatting. I bet we'll hear from Corbeau pretty soon, huh? Most likely. As much as I hate for our fun to end, we'd better return to Delzy.
There's so many side missions. I want to do them all. I really do. I mean, I'm going to eventually, but first... we gotta do some more main mission. At least until I know for a fact I can make donuts again.
The gang's all back. I was playing tourist for a change. Oh, it was lovely. What a luxurious way to pass the time. Lucky you. Wish I could have tagged along.
You can visit the museum and go to cafes literally anytime you want.
You just don't get it, Naveen. I guess we've got more important things to talk about.
Indeed. Well done not derailing the conversation. We have something for you, Ansha.
Whatever could it be? Why, look at my apron. It's emblazoned with our logo. Just a little something we whipped up while you were out on the town.
We?
Welcome to Team MZ, Ansha. Thank you, thank you. I'm so pleased to be matching with everyone at last. How come only Ansha gets a logo? Can't you sew one onto my outfit too?
The mega stones all over your clothes don't leave much space to work with, Karina.
Oh, true. These mega stones are symbols of my bonds with my Pokemon. I'd never take them off.
I mean, she's got space on one of her gloves for a little patch.
Logo or no-go, Karina, you're part of Team MZ too. Wait, did you all hear that? Sounded like it came from the strategy meeting room. Let's go see what it was. Go check that room, Garnet.
There's nobody and no nothing in here.
No one seems to be here. Guess we've got ghosts.
Please don't start.
What's wrong? Getting flashbacks to Rogue Mega Banette? Come on, Naveen, you're not actually scared.
Hi, Gulpin. You're not from around here.
This Gulpin must have come from hyperspace Lumiose, right?
Must it? Can't you, like, find these right outside Lumiose in X and Y? Like, seriously, aren't they on a route that is immediately adjacent to Lumiose? I feel like they are. Hang on a sec. I need to check this. Just out of curiosity's sake. Or just for curiosity's sake. Just out of curiosity. Let's see here. X and Y Pokedex. Gulpin is found on Route 5. Which, yeah, is the... You get to Lumiose in X and Y, and then the very next place you go after you first arrive in Lumiose is Route 5. It is connected to Lumiose. This could have come from just outside the city. It doesn't have to be from Hyperspace Lumiose.
Yeah, I know Emma's been dealing with cases where Pokemon mysteriously appear, and I think this Gulpin probably turned up the same way.
Why are you assuming that? This is a local Pokemon. They are on the route just outside the city. Now, if this was a Pokemon that was not found anywhere near Lumiose, I could see that, but just because they haven't been observed inside the city yet doesn't mean they can't get here from right outside.
Yeesh, I bet Pokemon will pop up like this all over the city if we don't take care of things. What shall we do about our Gulpin guest? I wonder if the tasty smell of Chef Ansha's donuts lured it here.
I suppose it could just live here, couldn't it? AZ let Pokemon stay here after all, and I'm willing to forget the scare it gave me. Hello again, helpful squad. Sorry for the holdup. We've gone over the data from your missions, and we learned something big. I need our Rogue Mega Evolution Task Force over here pronto. All 3 of you.
Wow, you're a task force now. You gonna go, Urbane? Obviously. Lita, Naveen, can you 2 hold down the fort and look after Ansha? We definitely owe Corbeau an in-person visit after all the data crunching he's done. Let's go.
The Gulpin has a side mission for us. Gulpin is sitting atop the small table.
Ah yes, our Gulpin guest. Lita believed it was lured by the tantalizing aroma of my donuts, no? Perhaps you could be so kind as to share a donut with it, Garnet?
I'm just curious. They don't let us go to the 3rd floor, so we can't even try to check out Karina's room. Dang, I can't quite get to a 3-star donut. So let's not use those yet. Trying to see if I can get spicy to match the other things I've got going on. Like, yeah, it won't be exact, but looks like I don't have any berries that'll get me quite where I want to be. And yet, we still made a multicolored donut. That'll help us catch ghosts. And let's make a handful of donuts that don't do a whole lot. So is this going to be close enough that it... Nope, it's still going to be just spicy. Honestly, we should make a handful of just plain donuts, basically. Just because these at least give us access to hyperspace Lumios. Here you go, have donut. Gulpin was super satisfied. It gave me a charty berry.
How delightful. Our Gulpin guest looks quite pleased now. Why don't you continue to feed Gulpin whenever you have donuts you don't need?
Okay, so Gulpin is the donut trash can, and we maybe get berries in exchange.
Welcome to Introversion, the cafe for those who like communicating, just maybe not face to face.
Noise of displeasure.
This coffee, it tastes like it's been laced with salt. Like a lot of salt. What? Our Introversion blend is known for its delicate sweetness and rich aroma. There's no way it should taste salty of all things.
It's Knackley's fault.
That's the rock salt Pokemon Knackley. You there, trainer, please help. Please, can you catch that Knackley? I've got to find out if it's why our coffee is suddenly salty.
So it's up there. And it looks like from Hotel Z is our closest way to get there.
Stop right there! Good, now look down. Did you ever notice the Pokemon designs on our utility hole covers here in Lumios?
Yep.
I call them Pokemon lids.
But yeah, I've seen ones with, I believe, Hawlucha, with Greninja. Forget what the red ones were, and I forget what the purple ones were, but yeah, I've seen them.
And you've just found one. This is one of the Vare District's famed Go-Goat utility holes. Now, how about a little quiz? What Pokemon is depicted on utility holes found in the Rouge District? Guess the Pokemon you think you'll see there, and then show me that Pokemon.
Ah, dang it. We gotta show her the Pokemon. If it was gonna be multiple choice, I could have got it, I'm sure. Rouge is up here, okay. So if I go here, we should be able to find one. pretty easily. And yep, that's a Pyroar.
Are you ready to show me the Pokemon featured on utility hole covers in the Rouge District? Show me which Pokemon you think is on those utility holes.
Oh, I didn't even need to have it in my party.
A male Pyroar? Ooh, that's so close, but it's not the right answer.
And here I thought it didn't matter which one we showed. There's my Chandelure. Okay, I gotta find a female Pyroar. I know I've got a shiny one somewhere. There's one.
A female Pyroar. Da-da-da-da. That is the correct answer. Amazingly done.
I'll have you know my first answer was correct too. I showed you a Pyroar. You only asked me to show like the Pokemon, which I took to mean the species.
Each series of Pokemon utility holes has a theme. The Rouge District's theme is determination. Female Pyroar are just perfect to represent that. In case you're curious, the theme in the Vert District is supposed to be camaraderie. The Blue District's theme is said to be modesty. Magenta should be grace, and Jaune, joviality. Perhaps you should take the time to look down and notice the utility holes sometime. Though take care to look at what's ahead of you, too.
There are some utility holes that if you take the time to look down and notice, you'll notice other things too. Like I believe right here. If you look down and notice, this utility hole is not stuck to the ground, but rather hovers a little bit above it. The fact that you can see my feet poking out from under there while my ankles are getting chopped off by this utility hole. Yeah, they didn't quite align that one with the ground now, did they? So yes, I have looked down to notice these before. Hey, trainer, you ever paid attention to the time it takes for moves to charge up? The longer a move charges up, the more damage it does. The harder it hits. Let's have a Pokemon battle. I'll show you how a good charge up changes things. Talk to me when you're ready. I'll just be here, biding my time and charging. I'm all charged up. Ready to battle? Here we go! Dude's been in hyperspace. Look at that. He's actually managed to get some damage on me. But I've charged and charged and charged. I'm all out of charge. But you're good. Here, take this TM and do some charging. That'll teach your Pokemon Skull Bash. It'll raise the user's defense while charging up, then let loose a massive hit. Use it good. Make me proud. I'm not going to use it at all, sir. Where was the TM salesman? He was like right here, I think. Because I have gotten a bunch more hyper thingies. Not hyper. Mega crystals. Yes, you. Mega shards. I want... Drain Punch. Also, hey, I could get Psychic Fangs for my Metagross now. Not that that's super necessary. Right, we still need to get that Knackley above introversion. So it should be over there somewhere. Okay, it's moved quite a ways. But not so far that we can't reach it.
Did you catch that, Knackley? If you did, please bring it back to the cafe. Dear customer, I know you reported our coffee tasting salty. To you, I present Knackley. Its body is made up of rock salt, which it leaves behind in flakes as it moves around. Of course, we will replace the drink that you... No, don't do that. After a few sips, the taste really started to grow on me. Now I'm hooked. People do sometimes make coffee drinks with salt added, don't they? You should make this salted coffee a part of your regular menu. What? I mean, yes, fine idea. We'll consider doing just that. A nice aromatic coffee with a dash of Knackley salt. I tried to make the perfect blend, but I think it's still too salty for most people. I'll just keep it as part of our secret menu for those in the know. Everyone's tastes do differ after all. Anyway, I'm relieved to have at least solved the mystery of why that drink was so salty. Thanks!
Hey there, Outlander. Salt makes many things taste better, but only to an extent. There is such a thing as too much salt. We've got the world's #1 Cyclizer fan here. Kid, do you know what all Pokemon battles really hinge on? Are you gonna say speed? But, nah, it's your strategy. Like you could have gotten the answer. Listen good, Pokemon battles hinge on sheer speed. You can swoop in on an opponent or dodge an attack at a key moment, if you move fast enough. Me and my Cyclizer roll all around Lumiose every day, and we've learned moves that let them roll over opponents even faster. We're the fastest in town, which means you'll never beat us. Don't believe me? Battle us! Sir, are you aware that speed just reduces your cooldowns in this game? And that cooldowns have a minimum duration of 3 seconds? Come talk to me when you think you're ready. Speed only helps to an extent, sir. Ready for battle? My Cyclizer are all revved up. Here begins the legend of the fastest and strongest Cyclizer team. Here begins their legend? So you haven't actually tested your strategy before then? You know, sir, flame charging directly into a moonblast doesn't really help. You left us in the dust. You sure kept up with us. You're really good. Guess we need to knuckle down and get even speedier. Take this TM, you deserve it. Flame Charge doesn't just deal damage, it lets your Pokemon move faster. Trust me, there's no feeling quite like running circles around your opponent. Alright, Cyclizer crew, let's ride all around Lumiose to our heart's content. I feel like I need to point this out. So, Hotel Z, we found that Gulpin. I know I said this before, but they were like, oh, it has to be from Hyperspace Lumiose. Even though in Pokemon X and Y, you can find Gulpins on Route 5, literally just outside Lumiose. In fact, where you find them outside Lumiose is through specifically this gate. So like right exactly here on this map, you can find wild Gulpins. One managed to get here and everyone was like, it had to be from hyperspace. No, it does not have to be from hyperspace. Anyway, I think I need to find out who's that Pokemon. Hello, mister. What's with the Scizor? Dude's staring into my soul. You ever get the feeling someone's staring at you? Yeah, you are. Yes, I need your help. You will help, won't you? I have this new neighbor. She just moved here from the Paldea region. Oh, good, he blinked. She brought her Pokemon with her. And it just keeps staring at my poor Scizor. My Scizor is not exactly the bravest of Scizor. Since they moved in, every day has been a terror. Please, can you find out why my new neighbor's Tinkatuff keeps staring at my poor Scizor? Probably because it's made of metal. I think you'll find that new neighbor of mine up on the rooftops. Why? Ah, there's the new neighbor.
Yes? Can I help you with something?
Your neighbor's Scizor is timid. Your Tinkatuff keeps staring at it.
Oh, is this about the Scizor that lives next door?
Yes, I literally said your neighbor's Scizor. You don't have to ask. That's literally the thing I said. This is clearly one of those illusion of choice things where no matter which one we chose, she would have answered the same.
I know. I keep catching my Tinkatuff staring at it. I think Tinkatuff's just a bit afraid and is feeling on edge. Scizor does have an intimidating look. But I suppose being stared at all the time is also intimidating in its own way, isn't it? I'm so sorry you got dragged into this. Could you let my neighbor know there's no harm intended?
Oh, look at you already up on the roof. So, why does that Tinkatuff keep staring at my Scizor? Yeah, it's scared of your Scizor. What? So that Tinkatuff is scared of my Scizor? And Scizor is simultaneously scared of Tinkatuff? Even if it is scared, doesn't it realize how scary it is to be constantly stared at like that? What has happened to my peaceful home life? Everything was fine until that weird Pokemon moved in next door. Come to think of it, don't people say Tinkatuff likes to attack other Pokemon to steal their metal? Yes, they do. What if What if it's got its eyes on my Pokemon because of Scizzor's steel type? Don't worry, Scizzor. I'll protect you with my life if I have to. My poor Scizzor won't be able to rest easy like this. Who knows if we can trust that lady's Pokemon? Look, I'm sure she's got her own things going on, having just moved here and all, but please, can you get her to understand our feelings too? And yeah, Outlander, it is 100% a thing that frequently happens when pets are introduced to one another.
Back again from that neighbor of mine?
Yeah, his Pokemon's afraid of yours.
His Pokemon is afraid? That's what he told you? My sweet Tinkaduff would never attack another Pokemon just to get more metal. Well, almost never.
The fact that you're allowing for a possibility.
We're the ones who just moved in here. We're the ones who are uneasy. And they're saying we're scary? Then I want proof that my neighbor Scizzor isn't glaring at Tinkaduff to intimidate it.
He's closer now. Sir, do you realize how intimidating it is when every time someone turns their back, you're closer to them the next time they turn around?
So, what did she say now?
She says she doesn't quite trust your Scizzor.
Who could doubt my sweet and timid Scizzor? There's not a threatening bone in its body.
Well, yeah, because it's a bug. Bugs don't have bones in their body. They have their bones outside their body. So, yeah, a thing with an exoskeleton can't have a...
Look, I get that it's gotta be scary moving to a new region and all, but we live here too. Well, I don't see any choice but to prove to her that my Scizzor is perfectly innocent and not scary.
How do you plan to do that?
We'll just have to get Scizzor and Tinkaduff to know each other face to face. Though I'd feel a lot better if you were there too. Go ask my neighbor if she's game. If she is, we can both bring our Pokemon to meet.
I hope you don't mind if I have a fire type, supervise.
He wants Tinkaduff and Scizzor to get to know each other. All right. Tinkaduff and I have also been stressed about this whole situation. Let's meet up and prove once and for all that my Pokemon is no threat to that Scizzor. We can do that, right, Tinkaduff?
Where's Tinkaduff?
Okay, now that we're all here, let's introduce our Pokemon to each other. And if anything starts to look dicey, we call them both into their Pokeballs. This way, Scizzor. Scizzor does seem rather scared. Over here, Tinkaduff. Your Tinkaduff seems rather bashful.
So we got a timid Scizzor and a bashful Tinkaduff.
Tinkaduff doesn't show any sign of attacking. Scizor only looks a bit scary, but it really isn't scary at all. Or only looks a bit scary. I guess they assumed the worst of each other, didn't they? Our Pokemon are looking friendlier already. Yes, and I hope we can be friends as well. I'm still adjusting to Lumiose. It would be nice to have someone I can ask for help. It was nice of this trainer to go out of her way to help some strangers like us.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Tinkatuff, no! Don't go ripping the metal off those chimney pipes! This'll be fine, right?
Tinkatuff just in the corner yelling at a chimney. I need to get here before the sun sets so that we can find out who's that Pokemon. I'm not allowed to find out who's that Pokemon? There you are. Let's skip the how do you do's. That distortion above what used to be Prism Tower continues to confound us. Yep, it sure is there. All this research, and we're still in the dark about that massive whatever it is. Yep, sounds tough. Maybe, but it's not all bad news. After poring over all this data, we've come up with a theory about Hyperspace Lumiose itself. We think Hyperspace Lumiose is sort of a big melange of subconscious thoughts. Oh, by the way, Corbeau here. If you're playing in Japanese, he, and I believe pretty much he alone, has a strong Kansai accent. Which, the Kansai accent, as heard by people who speak just general standard Japanese, hits them similar to, say, a deep South accent hits a normal American like myself. So, if I wanted to be portraying Corbeau accurately here, he'd have a thick Southern drawl. But I'm not good at that, so I'm not going to bother.
I don't think I get it.
It's a little difficult for me to even explain, truth be told. Philippe, fill him in.
Well, to elaborate on the boss's summary, the degree to which Hyperspace Lumiose resembles parts of our city made us suspicious. So we went looking through your survey data to see if we could find a cause for the resemblance. We've come to suspect that it's not Lumiose itself being reflected per se, but rather memories of it. In other words, the subconscious.
Thanks for the crash course, Philippe. We're not through analyzing yet. Who knows? Maybe it's a reflection of the subconscious of people and Pokemon. There's a lot more we need to learn, which means you've got a lot more surveying to do. If Hyperspace Lumiose keeps expanding at this rate, there's no telling what havoc might occur. Yeah, we got this. Good, because Team MZ is pretty much all we can count on. But don't get overconfident. It's still tough in there. Use experience candies you find in hyperspace to beef up your Pokemon if you need to. Yeah, our Pokemon don't seem to get experience points from defeating Pokemon in Hyperspace Lumiose, so that'll definitely help. Thanks, Corbeau. Guess we'd better order up some more donuts from Chef Ansha.
These ought to be of some help in your research, Garnet.
They won't. How many times do I have to tell you? I don't use these. Give me standard Pokeballs. Good luck out there. Okay, so now that they want us getting back out there and doing more research, surely they will let me go in and find out who's that Pokemon. Who's that Pokemon? It's Squawkabilly. Okay. I would not at all have guessed that from its appearance. Like, the silhouette didn't seem very Squawkabilly-esque, but then again, looking at the icons, I can now see why the silhouette was the way it was, and how I was completely misreading it. And it looks like we've only got these 3 colors of Squawkabilly. It's Squawkabilly, not Squawkability. They do have the ability to squawk, but that's not their name. Something I've noticed. Pokemon's pathing in hyperspace seems to be quite terrible. Like, look at that. It's trying to get there, but it's going way over there? And yeah, Outlander, I also want to know who misremembered Lutmios as a small park that's swarming with Squawkabillies. Seriously though, why is the pathing so terrible in hyperspace? Look, Raichu's trying to get to this, but it's going just a mile over there. To where it literally can't even land its move that I told it to use. Do need to get a bunch of these. That ought to do for now. Hey there, I got some fine leeks for strong trainers like you. By the way, have you heard of a Pokemon called Farfetch'd? It's always holding a plant stalk, which it sometimes wields as a weapon. Speaking of which, there's a troubling rumor going around involving Farfetch'd and leeks. They say if you go to a certain spot at nighttime accompanied by only a single Farfetch'd that's holding a leek, you'll be suddenly ambushed. Could you go fight off whoever's behind this? Should be no sweat for a strong trainer like you. I'll even give you a good sturdy leek for the job. Go down the alley in Rouge Sector 7 at night with only a leek-wielding Farfetch'd on your team. Then fight off anyone who tries to attack you. Alright, let's get us a Trico. It ain't a Farfetch'd. Oh boy, we're in here. So, needing to catch Pokemon undetected in the freaking sewer kinda sucks. But Badoos are at least easy enough to catch undetected. So there's that done. Ooh, an alpha. Okay, so here's the plan. Just gonna throw a ball at every lizard. And then I'm gonna start torching. Oh, I don't have hypnosis right now. And now it's time to learn. If we save while in hyperspace like this, can we do the usual? Because I want this Alpha Trico. We can do the usual. It'll work eventually. Also, the fact that this Trico turned alpha is very good information to have. Because in standard wild zones, you cannot get random alphas to spawn until you've completed your research on that specific wild zone. So I was worried that maybe hyperspace alphas wouldn't be a thing until you had caught every species in a given hyperspace location. But I haven't caught a Trico yet, so the fact that this is here means that there is no concern whatsoever regarding that. So now we just need this thing to get in the freaking ball eventually. It has to work eventually. How good my chances are? Probably not great. But it has to work eventually. I mean, we know for a fact they're less than 20%. So, yeah, that ain't great. Our chance at actually catching this thing caps out at 19.9%, given that we've only got a single arrow. But honestly, this might be faster resets than trying to catch it without knocking it out. Like, faster than waiting for it to stop being mad. And doing it this way is making sure that we've still got some of our timer left for being in here. For reals, though, I need this lizard to just stay in the dang ball. And yes, this is absolutely a case where my refusal to use anything other than standard Pokeballs is causing problems. But what I've just learned by swapping over to a Great Ball real quick is that a 1.5 times multiplier does bring us above 20%. Which means our chances aren't that terrible. Means that they've got to be at least 13%. Actually, they've got to be higher than 13%. But they don't have to be at least 14%. So somewhere between 13 and 14% is our chance to catch this Trico on any given reset here. Though it could even be higher than 14%. So somewhere between like 13.5 and 19.9%. Somewhere in that range is our chance of catching this Trico on any given Pokeball. Assuming that Great Balls are in fact still 1.5x in this game. Which I don't know for a fact is true, but I think it is. Which I do believe does mean that we are over odds at this point, if our chance is in fact 13% or higher. Stay in the dang ball, Trico. I said stay in the dang ball. I'm trying so hard to use this catch window that I only just learned the name of yesterday. It's called the catch window. And yet this Trico is just refusing to abide by basic math. We are way over odds for getting this thing to actually stay in the ball. Please, you stupid lizard, stay in the ball. I have not been counting, but I know for a fact we are well over 10 tries. I don't think we're at 20 yet, but I could be wrong. There we go. Okay, we've got the gold ball to appear. There it is. Give unto me your secrets. And I've gotten about all the value I can out of here. Yeah, I was so adamant about getting that Alpha Trico because I am, in fact, still trying to collect a complete Alpha Dex of all the Pokemon from the DLC as well. So yeah, that means I'm gonna need to get everything Alpha. Of course, I'm sure the longer, or the farther we go in the actual story, the higher our chances of catching things will be. Because, like, that's just how it goes, right? But whatever.
Oh, hello, you're Garnet, right? My favorite streamer in the whole world posted this photo the other day. Just look at it.
Excuse me. Oh, hey, it's Kanari.
It's too good, right? Kanari just chilling on a bench with her Electros, looking amazing. I want to sit on the exact same bench and get my own shot with Manectric. So I could really use your help, Garnet. Help me find that bench.
Show me the photo again. Yeah, let me see it. Okay, so we've got Quasartico visible in the distance. We've got Wild Zone 7 right down there. That's going to be a help. Or is that 7? I think that's a 7. Could you have taken a higher res photo? Like, it looks like you took this on Switch 1. You know, I think I have sat on that exact bench hoping to get a bunch of Raltses before. Not a bunch, but hoping to get shiny Ralts. And I did get shiny Ralts there. If I'm not mistaken, that bench... I am mistaken. I was thinking it was here, but no, it wouldn't be here because the photo would have been taken from like here and Koizariko's not in that direction. Okay, so I haven't sat on that bench. Maybe she's up here somewhere. Show me again. The Wild Zone is our clue. Wild Zone 7. I think 7. This is Wild Zone 7. Is she seriously going to be like right up here? Yeah, that's the... Show me the photo. Yep, that is 100% the building with the screen. It's like right on this roof. So I suppose the question then is, how do we get up there? Or is it those benches? No. Let's see if there's a ladder up onto this building. There's a ladder onto that one, which we can use. Never mind, this doesn't get us high enough. Maybe there's a ladder in here. Yep, there's a ladder. Yeah, she's on this bench right here. You were so close. It's got the two planters in a row, the same buildings in the background, and the mountains. This has to be where Kanari took her photo. Come on, no time to waste. Don't I look just like Kanari sitting here on the same bench she sat on? No. Can I ask just one more teeny tiny thing of you, Garnet? Can you take a picture of me looking just like Kanari did in the photo I showed you? Okay, so you want us to get up on that building. I want it to be from exactly the same angle. I can show you Kanari's picture again anytime, so let me know if you want to. So you want us to be up there.
Yes, there! Take a picture from right there!
Thankfully, she's not being picky about the time of day it was taken at.
Alright, let's see if you managed to pull it off. Oh my gosh, it's perfect! I look just like Canary. I'm uploading now, and there, it's up! Hey, I wonder who took that picture for Canary.
Probably Tarragon.
Could it be that mysterious manager of hers? Apparently he's really involved in her work. I guess we have him to thank for having Canary bread and everything.
Yep.
They're not bad, but I'd really rather have Canary keychains or, ooh, an acrylic standee. Maybe someday. Anyway, I'd love to recreate a bunch more of Canary's pics while I'm in Lumios. Thanks for your help, Garnet. Maybe have a seat on that bench and take a load off. See you around.
Fido? Rookity. It's a fighting type. What is that? Clobopus, maybe? Quillfish. Toxel. Rookity again. Muna? Again, possibly Clobopus? It just occurred to me. This is the first game where... Never mind. I'm being stupid and incorrect. I will not finish my sentence because it will make me seem even dumber. More! More! I need even more heat! Restaurant Le will be stuck at 2 stars forever if we can't get more firepower. That's why I've thought of the perfect way to get us that 3rd star. Some serious heat. You look puzzled, my friend. Allow me to explain. We're going to offer the spiciest dishes made for spice lovers by a true spice lover. It's gonna be a spice fiesta. But your everyday spicy dishes aren't going to impress the most intensive heat seekers. So I'm going to need a special assistant to make this event a success. Please, you've just got to bring me the Pokemon known as Scovillain. If I can get Scovillain to use its spicy extract move on my dishes, we'll be able to produce the kind of heat that discerning spice maniacs all seek. Please, can you bring me a Scovillain that knows the move Spicy Extract? No, I can't because I haven't found a place that gives them yet. Keep on pressing minus, wanting it to be the map button, but it's not. It was in Metroid Prime 4. There's a rumor going around among us couriers. You know the Dorme Bien cemetery? I've heard one of the gravestones moves around at night. What's even weirder is that my courier friends say it only happens under certain conditions. 1. It has to be nighttime. That checks out, considering you said it moves around at night. 2, you can only have one Pokemon with you. 3, you have to enter the cemetery from the northern gate. 4, you have to say these magic words in your head. Solitary solo cemeteries are sorta scary. Could you see if the rumor is true? I'm too scared to try it myself. And yeah, Outlander, when it comes to spicy food and whatnot, like, for the general American palate, I can handle my spice quite well. And, like, to an extent, I can handle spice decently well for Japanese food, like general Japanese food. Like, when I make curry, I use prepackaged curry roux from Japanese brands, etc. And I go for the hot stuff, like, you know, the hottest they offer. And it is good. I like it. But just recently, I got some curry from a location, a branch of a Japanese chain that recently opened up near here. And I figure, hey, I like my curry hot. They let you choose what spice level you want. I'm gonna go 5 out of 10. Just, you know, being a little conservative in case. 5 out of 10 was the right call because it was like right on my limit. And it was just like, oh, why is 5 out of 10 so much spicier than what I make at home when what I make at home is using the stuff that is labeled hot? Meow. Meow. Oh, a human. As you can see, I'm a girl who positively adores the Scratch Cat Pokemon. If you can beat Meow in a battle, then one of these 3 Meowth might just... Well, you'll have to battle us to find out. So what'll it be? Want to have a Pokemon battle with Meow? Pertinently. Wow. Talk to Meow when you're ready to battle. I can has Pokemon battle? Wow, we're bringing that back? I'm sorry, but your reference is about 25 years outdated, ma'am. What makes Scratch Cat Pokemon so perfect? They're clawsome in battle. Impossible. Wow, I can't believe you beat all my Meowth. I'm at a loss for purrs. You know, saying I'm at a loss for purrs, like, it works. I get what you're going for. But if you said if you said you were at a kloss for words, it would be less of a stretch and you'd still have the pun in there. Now it's time to pick your favorite Meowth out of the 3. Okay, so here's the thing. If we're talking about the Meowth itself, I have to go Alolan. If we're talking about the evolution, I have to go with Galarian. If we're talking about overall, I have to go with standard Meowth. Because, like, I'm not a huge fan of Galarian Meowth, but Berserker I like. I am a fan of Alolan Meowth, but I do not care one bit for Alolan Persian. And Cantonian Meowth and Cantonian Persian, I like both just fine. But I'm gonna go with the Alolan because she told me to pick my favorite Meowth.
You choosing this Meowth? Are you positive?
Yes, but only for the Meowth.
A feline choice. You know a good Meowth when you see one.
Yes, I do know a good Meowth. Specifically Meowth. Again, I can't stress this enough. Only the Meowth is good in the Alolan line.
All right, time for your reward. A personal play session with your favorite Meowth.
Yep, that's right, my favorite Meowth. Hey there, guard. I'm doing fine. Hope you are too.
Go on, enjoy some quality time together.
Is someone hungry? Looking fierce.
Meow.
Who's a good Meowth? So cute. But I do believe it is time for a cat nap. Bye for now.
All right, you two, that's enough playtime for Meow. You and Meowth both look perfectly happy. The other Meowth want to play with you too, so come back soon for more quality time together.
So, the reward money here, 2,222 Poké Dollars. There's a reason for that. In Japanese, the onomatopoeia for a cat's meow is nya. The first character of which is ni. 2 is ni. So ni is just a bunch of meows. That's why we get that much money from this, because it's meows. Even the reward money is a cat pun in Japanese. Alpha Ghastly over there. Solo cemeteries are sort of spooky or whatever. Solitary solo cemeteries are sort of spooky. Sort of scary. So, is it going to be a Houndstone or a Greavard? It's a Greavard. But I was told that the graves move, or the headstones or whatever, which would have to be a Houndstone, not a Greavard. Hey, look, it's a Houndstone. And a bunch of Greavards. Perhaps I shouldn't have brought a Psychic type, but I like Metagross. And we're not in Ultra Space, so we'll be fine. Behold fineness. Really? I'm on my way right now. Thanks for investigating the rumor, Garnet. So there was no moving gravestone, huh? Just a houndstone and some greavard? Well, glad to know that's all there was to it. Wait. Where the heck did the greavard and houndstone come from? And to be surrounded by greavard and houndstone in a solitary cemetery at night. Sounds sort of scary. And the reward money there was 1,313, which, oh look, 1313. Oh, 13's an unlucky number. Ooh. They're not all deep cuts. Hi, Cubone. Oh, thanks for the protein. Congratulations. We're giving out free protein as part of a special promotion. Could I ask for just a moment of your time? Thank you. Alrighty, let's get started with our protein street survey. Do you know what protein is? I know all about it. I see. Well, protein is a nutritious drink. I know. I just told you I know all about it. Where did you find out about protein? I found out about protein back in Kanto. But I suppose technically from social media. Specifically the Game FAQ's message board for Pokemon Red and Blue. So, yeah, social media, back in Kanto. You know, 1998, you ever been there? Thankfully, it was Kanto 1998 and not Raccoon City 1998. Those are two very different things. Noted. Where you get your information from is important, isn't it? Does 5,000 for a bottle of protein sound expensive to you? Actually, it's cheap for protein. It's been a lot more expensive in the past. It used to be 9,800. I see. Everyone has their own way of valuing things. Do you know of any other drinks similar to protein? Yeah, I know of all of these and also HP Up. But if we're talking about ones that I use a lot, I've heard of calcium. Gotcha. There are so many different products that it can be hard to keep track, huh? When would you want to have your Pokemon drink a bottle of protein? When I want to raise its attack. Noted. Make sure to follow the usage instructions. What do you think protein tastes like? Honestly, never gave it a single thought, but we know it can't be bitter because giving Pokemon protein raises their happiness or friendship. And giving them bitter medicine lowers their friendship. So we know for a fact that if nothing else, it's not bitter. And like, sure, you can say that bitter berries are things that Pokemon have started liking as of Gen 3. But in Gen 2, giving Pokemon a protein raised their friendship level. And in Gen 2, the only flavors that we had to, or the only things that were bitter that we had to compare with were the medicines, which Pokemon did not like, and therefore it cannot be bitter. So, sweet? I see. Make sure to let your Pokemon know what you think. Would you recommend protein to a friend? Yeah, definitely if they want to raise their attack EVs. Got it. Whether or not you recommend something really depends on who you're talking to. And that's all for our survey. Thank you for your time. I bet you're wondering what this cute Cubone is doing next to me. It was handing out proteins, so that's what it's doing.
As long as I'm with Cubone, everyone stops to chat, so it gets me plenty of takers for the survey. Thank you for answering all of our questions. Here's a small token of our appreciation.
A bunch of items, you say? Proteins, calciums, and HP ups. I wonder, would the calciums have changed to something else had I said something else for that specific question? Because we got proteins, which the survey was about. We got HP ups, which weren't an option. And we got calciums, which are the thing that I chose.
Maybe my next survey will be about iron.
You look tired.
Pop quiz time. How many total Pokemon centers are there in Lumiose City?
There's at least one per district, plus 2 in the middle. I'm gonna say there's at least 7, maybe there are 8 or more. Let me consult my memory. Specifically only my memory and nothing else. It's just gonna take a bit because it's really just buried info. It's definitely in there though. I definitely have it in my brain, and I'm just consulting that brain of mine to determine what the answer is from my brain. And the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 Pokemon centers in Lumiose. See, I had to filter out the information from Pokemon X and Y, which I did play kind of recently-ish earlier this year. So yeah, that's what I was taking so long for, as I was trying to get things straight between X and Y in this game.
That's right, there are 9. Among the 9, this one, the Hibernal Pokemon Center, sells the fewest Pokeballs by far.
Because it's so close to the ball shop.
I think we could solve that problem if we just had a certain Pokemon around to help. And I've got the perfect name for my plan. Sportacular Sales with a Fun Guy.
So you want a fungus?
Allow me to explain. Don't you think our countertop looks lonely? There's so much room to liven it up. But a fungus sitting here would look just like a Pokeball. That kind of Pokemon is sure to lure people in and make them want to buy Pokeballs. Please bring me a fungus.
Okay, maybe it's not that close to the ball shop. You would think that a Pokemon Center closer to the ball shop would sell fewer Pokeballs. But, and again, the ball shop, like, maybe this is the easiest Pokemon Center to get to from it, but it's right outside Centrico Plaza, so surely it would get a lot of foot traffic of people looking to get Pokeballs. So, like, the ball shop isn't really conveniently located for people who want Pokeballs, I wouldn't think. Like, this is closer to wild zones where you would need Pokeballs. Maybe this is, like, the farthest from a wild zone of any Pokemon Center? Yeah, that looks like it might be the case, other than maybe this one. Yeah, this one's probably farther from wild zones. Yeah, it is. So yeah, who knows? I don't know why this one would sell fewer Pokeballs than anywhere else. But it's probably not the lack of fungus. I'd think that another thing would probably be more likely to be the cause. Shiny. Shiny. 2 shinies. Okay, I know exactly where these, or how these shinies got here. So, I have been trying, or I had been trying to get an alpha shiny Audino. And one of the best ways to do that, you warp here, then you just run along the outside edge. It gets basically every Audino that can spawn to spawn, and then you warp back. This is close enough to here that Patrats would happen. Yeah, get out of here. I don't need no shiny Patrat. I've already got enough shiny Patrats. I don't got space for repeat shinies of a Pokemon I don't care about.
Hey, you're Garnet from Team MZ, right? I'd like to ask you a favor. Could you take my Fido for a walk? Fido needs to go on walks to stay healthy, but I'm a bit busy today.
Dodo to you too.
If you could take Fido on a walk for me, I'd really appreciate it. Let me know when you're ready for a nice walk.
All right, time for walkies.
Are you ready to take Fido for a walk? There's a route Fido and I like to go on. Climb these stairs and go down the alley on the right, the one by the yellow post box. Fido likes to take a lap around the wild zone. All right, Fido, I'll see you later.
Oh, hey, we got a bonus alpha. Fairy.
Oh, it's the baker's Fido, taking a walk with this youngster today. How nice. Enjoy your walk.
So, why did they tell me the route Fido likes to take when we just have to follow Fido? Like, I don't know that we would be able to take it down the wrong path. Because we're just following it.
Taxis are a great way to reach a place you've never visited before, and once you get there, you'll have a new travel spot for the future. The driver's chatter can be real hit or miss, though, and you're stuck sitting through it.
Oh no! A Mastiff. Whoa there, Mastiff. No need to growl. Sorry about that. My Mastiff can be a little big-headed. I wish it wasn't such a troublemaker. Anyway, your Fido is cute. It's not mine. I see. You were asked to take it on a walk. Huh, I guess once trainers get to talking, Pokemon let their fur down a bit too. Okay, Fido, see you around. Fido is in no danger. It's got a type advantage in that interaction.
Aw, how cute. I know what that Pokemon is. It's a Fido. Can I play with it?
Fido looks happy that it got to play a little during its walk. Time to go back to the requester. Well, at least some of these yellow manhole covers they managed to put actually on the floor.
Looks like you had fun on your walk, Fido. Thanks, Garnet. The yeast in Fido's breath ferments things around it. I use that yeast to make bread. The bread's been so popular that I haven't had time to take Fido on walks lately. But from now on, I'll be sure to make time for my Fido and my baking. After all, I can't let other people see my own cute Fido more than I do.
I've never seen a Fido loaf up like that. But it makes sense that they do loaf up. But for reals, though, when it comes to yellow manhole covers, I will never get over the fact that they failed to put this one on the ground. Just... It's at ankle height. Not on the floor. And yet this one, that's at the same plaza, is at least closer to being on the ground. You can still see that it clips into the bottom of our shoes a little bit, whereas the ground here doesn't. So, like, it's not quite flush with the floor, but it's closer than the other one. And, like, this one is even closer than that last one we stood on. We've got 3 manholes around this same wild zone, all at differing heights. Is there another one on this side? No, there is not.
Miss Garnet, I'm a Quasartico Inc. employee charged with the city's Wild Zone management. Unfortunately, we've been receiving reports of wild Pokemon acting oddly here in Wild Zone 8. I'm sorry to have to bother you, but I'd like to request your help investigating the situation. If you would lend us a hand, please go find out what is happening in Wild Zone 8.
Okay, so the problem is there are too many Pokemon that aggro on site. But on the plus side, they're not a freaking pride of lions. So it could be worse. Oh, there's got to be something in the middle there.
Sandyghasts.
The floor was made of Pokémon! And since they don't have abilities in this game, we are allowed to hit them with water-type moves. I only just realized that they're letting us catch these. I could have had one more. Oh well.
Reliable as ever, Miss Garnet. You didn't merely assess the situation, you resolved it. I'd hazard a guess that those Sandygast arrived from hyperspace Lumios and made themselves right at home. Sandile and the other local Pokemon must have been quite frightened of them. Have you ever read Sandygast's Pokedex entry? Not in this game, I haven't. Grudges of the dead have possessed a mound of sand and become a Pokemon, it says. Sandygast is fond of the shovel in its head. A creation born of the grudges from those who have passed away. How frightful.
But at least they like shovels.
Well, Miss Garnet, I should be on my way, if you'll excuse me.
There's still so many missions left to do.
Hello, kind trainer. I'm Trice. I work for the Postal Service here in Lumios. This Pokemon, Mime Jr., is here to help us collect mail from our customers. But I've got one minor concern. You see, this will be Mime Jr.'s first time going out solo. I thought about trying to follow along to keep an eye on things, but I'd be spotted in no time. That's why I'd like to ask for your assistance. Please look after Mime Jr.'s first big job for me.
Are you sure we should be talking about this right in front of Mime Jr.? Can it not understand our speech?
If you're ready and willing to lend a hand, please let me know.
Because, like, you're telling it right in front of it, you're going to have me tail it, but also to try not to be spotted? You're going to put the little guy on edge.
Are you ready to help watch over Mime Jr.'s first time making the rounds alone?
But it won't be alone.
Thank you so much. I'll give Mime Jr. one last set of instructions. You just follow along and keep an eye on things.
So you can give it instructions, which means it does understand what you're saying.
Mime Jr., you remember what to do, right? You'll gather the letters from a yellow postbox like this. Now, off you go to Jean Sector 6. Collect the mail to be sorted. Please follow after Mime Jr. from a reasonable distance. Don't lose sight of it.
Oh. So we lose sight of it if it gets more than 20 yards away. Here I thought we were supposed to, like, actually hide. So what, we probably gotta try and stay between 10 and 20 yards from it? Or meters, rather. Uh-oh. What you gonna do, Mime Jr.? Clearly we're supposed to step in and help out. They're too small to Draining Kiss. Also, apparently we can get within 10 meters and it won't care. So really, this quest just did a whole bunch of lying to us about needing to not get spotted. Okay, successfully gathered up the mail. Don't we need to... Oh. We're not moving anywhere? So Mime Jr. is just taking the mail out of the mailbox and then you're coming to collect it from Mime Jr.'s hands instead of from the mailbox? What is even the point of having Mime Jr. go out on its own?
Thank you so much for looking after Mime Jr. And you, my fine apprentice, you did splendidly on your first big solo job. Yes, you did.
Except for the whole getting scared of Sandiles and a Crocorock.
Here's a little something to express my gratitude. This postal worker appreciates your service.
Well, if we do this one here, then we will be done with all the missions that are north of the river. Well, almost all.
You, wait a tick, aren't you the trainer known as Garnet from Team MZ?
That's me.
I knew I recognized you. I wonder if I could trouble a renowned trainer such as yourself with a trifling request. I am an auteur, you see, a writer of great novels. Not that my talent is appreciated by the masses.
Well, if your talent isn't appreciated, then maybe the novels you write aren't that great.
But I've got just the idea for my next manuscript. The only element I lack is the dramatis personae. A famed trainer like you could round out my cast and provide the inspiration I've been looking for.
Please don't include me in your novel.
I have an idea for the Pokémon my tale shall require. Could you assemble them for me? First, we must have a ground-type Pokémon. Next, a Pokémon that knows Flamethrower. Finally, a Pokémon bearing a Megastone.
So what you're saying is you want a single Mega Camerupt.
I must see all three, then my creative juices will surely runneth over. Could you put the trio in your party and come show me? I can repeat my list whenever you like.
So, we're only missing the ground type from our current party. But I want to try and be sneaky about this. Or clever about it, rather. So let's just see if he will accept my answer of a single Mega Camerupt. Camera Up doesn't learn Flamethrower on its own? There you go. Have you brought to me the Pokemon 3 required for my tail? No, I've brought you the Pokemon 1 required for your tail because it satisfies all 3 requirements. You haven't even got 3 Pokemon. I can't possibly write my story if I haven't seen all 3. Do you think I just make this stuff up? I mean, if you're an author, then yeah, probably. What if only 1 Pokemon meets the requirements? What's Torchic doing here? You're in the wrong box. So my guy wants a ground type, a Pokemon with a Mega Stone, and a Pokemon that knows Flamethrower. Let's do this, and then there. 3 Pokemon. We've got a ground type, a Pokemon that knows Flamethrower, and a Pokemon with a Mega Stone. Except, wait. I don't care that much about Greninja. I like Gardevoir quite a lot more than I like Greninja. It seems you have the requisite number of Pokemon at least, but will they fit the bill? Yeah, we've got a ground type, a Pokemon that knows Flamethrower. Camerupt is my ground type Pokemon. Camerupt, quite the choice. Oh yes, this is sparking some ideas. Then on to our next character. Which is the Pokemon that knows the move Flamethrower? Oh, we can't have them all be the same Pokemon. And here I thought I would be clever. But no, the game says no cleverness allowed. There we go. Ground type, Mega Stone, Flamethrower. I'm really counting on my Metagrow site not being up here at the top because the text in the very top option here is completely illegible because it's white on white right now. Well, there we go. Okay, ground type is Garchomp. Flamethrower is Chandelure. Yes, Chandelure. The scenes are coming to sharp focus now. We need a strong finish. Which is the Pokemon that bears a mighty Megastone? Metagross. Astounding. I never would have thought. Thank you, friend. You've given me precisely what I asked for. So now I can craft my great tale. It is to be an adventure novel, you see. Since you've been so integral to the whole thing, I don't mind giving you a little preview of the plot. Our tale begins deep in the wilds of the Kalos region. There, in a forest replete with nature's majesty, a Pokemon called Garchomp has a thought. I wish that I could Mega-Evolve. It can. And so our hero journeys forth in search of a Megastone, Trainer Garnet by their side. They arrive at the Tower of Mastery where they meet Metagross, bearing the very same Megastone they sought, no less. Defeat me in true battle, their foe declares, and I shall allow you to take this Megastone with you. Metagross isn't my foe. Accepting the challenge, Garchomp sends out Garnet to do battle. Excuse me? Just then, another rival for the stone swoops in out of nowhere. Chandelure unleashes Flamethrower in a bid to claim the Megastone for itself. Garnet leaps in front of Garchomp to protect it from the flamethrower. She then hurls both Chandelure and Metagross into the Sea Spirit's den in Kalos's merciless sea. I'm starting to see why people don't like your books. Urbane, the mysterious and mighty figure who governs all Mega Evolution, saw everything. Please, no. He recognizes and rewards Garnet, granting her a Mega Evolution of her own. I don't need his recognition. I'm better than him. Yes, it is the first ever human Mega Evolution. Witnessing this miraculous sight, Garchomp's faith in the power of Mega Evolution is affirmed. Inspired, Garchomp vows anew to find a Mega Stone of its own. Yes, its very own Garchompite Stone. Aw, if we had picked a ground type that wasn't a Garchomp, like one that didn't have a stone of its own, we could have gotten a funnier name. Phew, it's going to be a bestseller, I just know it. Uh-huh, sure. I didn't give you permission to use my likeness, by the way. Now, I'd better get it all down on paper so I can submit my manuscript to Lumiose Press. I can't thank you enough for your help. You'll write a blurb for me when it comes out, right? Absolutely not. Unless it's to tell people that your story is stupid and they shouldn't read it. Making sure everyone's in the order that they belong in. Why is this the order that I've settled on? Just because it's the order that they went in when I put them in this party to begin with, and I'm too used to it to change. I should get back into one of these. Oh, is that one inside the wild zone? Looks like it. Though I suppose it would be faster to reach it from actually this entry point. Guard, so far the DLC has been okay. Nothing particularly special. Like, I'm not thinking, oh, this is the best DLC Pokemon's ever had, because it's not. But I mean, it's interesting enough. It's got stuff going for it. I don't know what they could have done to make it better in specifically this game. Like, they're still stuck using this game's mechanics. I can say I'm not a huge fan of being time limited in these hyperspace zones. Okay, so we need to catch an alpha Pokemon. That's gonna be annoying. We also need to grab 20 sparkles, so I can't leave these behind. The last time we got a mission to grab 20 sparklies, there were exactly 20 sparklies to be grabbed. hoping we'd be able to sneak back there. So there are Clobbopus. Shame none of them are alphas. Alright, well, we've got our items, but we need to find and catch an alpha Pokemon before this place closes. Which, when we're dealing with random alphas, isn't gonna be the easiest. Because at best, they're a 5% encounter rate. So perhaps going back and forth across here could get us the distance needed to respawn things? Problem is getting them to respawn and then checking them and then trying again. I don't think we're going to end up having even remotely enough time. Well, at least I got some Clobbopusses and I got a bunch of items. Kind of rude of it to ask us to find specifically an alpha. believe thus far I've found exactly one alpha in hyperspace so far. So yeah. Okay, well, the mystery is gone. It is in fact Muna. Which means I was correct when I was playing Who's That Pokemon. And there's the Munas. So now we need to find floating Pokeballs to destroy. Excuse me, I said break it. Well, that's annoyingly positioned. Buddy, you're gonna have to try a little better than that. I just saw the golden one. But since we're up here, we might as well grab this. They really just put all the floating Pokeballs up in the air this time, huh? I guess they are floating, so... makes some sense. So who's gonna tell Terrigan that people remember his scaffolding as being weird, out of place, and connected to nothing? Excuse me, sir, didn't I already do your quest?
Ah, you're back. Thank you again for your previous assistance, my good friend. The manuscript I produced with your help was a smash hit. It'll be hitting shelves soon.
Seriously?
I was thinking about trying my hand at the romance genre next. I'd love your assistance.
Please do not use me as a character.
To be specific, I'd like to ask you to put the following Pokemon in your party to show me. First, I think we'll need a Fairy-type Pokemon. Second, a Dragon-type Pokemon. The third Pokemon should be an Alpha Pokemon, and the fourth should be a second Alpha. Do you think you can show me all those? I'm counting on you. Yes, you, the hero of my own personal tale. Could you put those 4 in your party and come show me? I can repeat my list whenever you like.
So we need a Fairy, a Dragon, an Alpha, and another Alpha. Okay. I mean, I can do that with my party as it is right now. But what if? Come with me on a journey here. Where are they? That one's not an alpha. So, we've got a fairy, a dragon, an alpha, and another alpha.
First things first, which is your Fairy-type Pokemon?
The middle Gardevoir.
Gardevoir, quite the choice. Oh yes, this is sparking some ideas. Then on to our next character. Which Dragon-type Pokemon will this scenario feature? Yes, Dragonite. The scenes are coming into sharp focus now. And our third character, which Alpha Pokemon have you brought me?
Gardevoir.
Gardevoir, yes, the lines practically write themselves. And our fourth character, who will be the second Alpha Pokemon?
Gardevoir.
And Gardevoir, perfect. You've managed to assemble the perfect cast of characters for me. I cannot thank you enough. Now let's talk romance. Gardevoir is in love with Dragonite. Dragonite is in love with Gardevoir. Gardevoir is in love with Gardevoir. And of course, Gardevoir is in love with Gardevoir. It's no mere love triangle, it's an endless love loop. What do you think? Brilliant, isn't it?
Gardevoir really loves Gardevoir, you know.
Ah, no, wait, this won't do. An endless love loop offers no resolution. I do have one other idea, I suppose. It's a bit more involved. But you'll hear me out, won't you? Please lend me your ear, dear friend. Once, in the city of Lumios, there existed two competing schools dedicated to the martial arts. One was founded by Gardevoir, distinguished by hard, unyielding strikes. This style was known as the Path of Urbane. Stop using him! The other was founded by Gardevoir, specializing in fleet, flowing movements. This style was known as the Way of Garnet. Stop using me! I didn't give you permission! Both schools put their desire to become strongest above all else in life. Their members vowed to have nothing to do with the other style, except in battle. All who followed the Path of Urbane were bound to view the Way of Garnet's followers as mortal foes, and vice versa. Governed by that one unbreakable tenet, it was a hard-knock life in these schools of hard knocks. It came to pass that a match was declared, Gardevoir of the Urbane style versus Dragonite of the Garnet style. This battle would decide once and for all which school was strongest.
But Dragonite's gonna lose that one.
Everything was on the line. Whichever school was defeated would be honor-bound to disband. Yet the two Pokémon selected as the school's champions had a singular problem. Gardevoir and Dragonite were desperately in love. They had broken the one rule that must never be broken, meeting in secret outside of battle. On the night before the fateful match was to be held, Gardevoir and Dragonite's eyes met. They knew there was but one option. Together they fled into the night. So begins their thrilling story of love on the lam, their very lives on the line as they flee pursuit. I have to admit my own experience with romance is limited, so perhaps my novel will lack realism. But I think it will be a tale for the ages, don't you?
Yeah, sure.
Now, I'd better get it all down on paper so I can submit my manuscript to Lumios Press. I can't thank you enough for your help. You will come through with that blurb once it's a hit, yes?
No. No, I will not. I did not give my permission to use my likeness. Delete me from your book. Also, your book is stupid. You should reconsider having so many characters share the same name. Accept a mission. Well then, I can do that. Behold, mission accepted.
You there, young trainer. Could I ask a special favor of you? I'd like you to deliver this letter to the director of Academy Etoile. I would do it myself, but I'm afraid that certain circumstances prevent me from doing so. Please, won't you deliver it in my stead? Merci. I knew you had a trustworthy face.
Is it gonna turn out that this guy's dead and has been for, like, years?
This is the letter that must be delivered. Remember, you must give it to the director of Academy Etoile, no one else.
Which, if we were to name it in English, would be the Star Academy. And there doesn't appear to be anything else to do here, so out we go. I mean, yeah, considering this was in the graveyard, the person was being weird. It's gonna turn out that, and circumstances say that they can't go deliver the letter themselves. Yeah, it's 100% gonna turn out that, oops, they've been dead for, like, decades. And oddly enough, it won't be the first time that the Pokemon franchise has asked us to deliver a letter from a dead person that was given to us by said person after their passing.
Oh, I remember you. You helped me find my ring before, didn't you? I did so appreciate your help then. And what new good deed has brought you to Academy Étoile today? A letter for the director? Well, you found her. I am the director of this school. Where did you get this letter?
From hyperspace inside a grave.
No, never mind that. There's an even more urgent question that must be answered. Please, won't you come to Ver Sector 6 with me? I must visit Racine Construction at once. Thank you for coming. I feel so much better having you here with me for support. I probably should have done this alone, but that letter you gave me, it raised so many questions. I suppose I ought to tell you what it said. I'm so sorry I left you behind without ever having the chance to tell you something. 14 years ago, I entrusted my precious ring to a certain man for repairs. The man's name was Tarragon, the owner of a shop called Racine Construction. Receiving a letter from my deceased husband, it's simply impossible, isn't it? I was afraid to come by myself to find out if what the letter says is true or not. Are you Mr. Tarragon?
That I am. How can I help you?
Tell me, do you remember a man coming to you 14 years ago asking for your help repairing a ring?
That I do. I'd gone and taken my little Canary to a fancy restaurant to celebrate her birthday. We hit it right off with the guy sitting next to us. Canary took to him like a ducklet to water. When he heard what a dab hand I was at fixing things, he asked if I could help with setting a stone that had come loose from a ring of his. Told me it was a special ring, one of a pair he and his wife had exchanged.
That man was my husband, but I'm afraid there was an accident and he...
I'm so sorry to hear that, ma'am. But what a stroke of luck that something pointed you here after all these long years.
I'd hoped perhaps that ring. And I'm sure I owe you something for your labor.
There ain't no need for that, ma'am. I can't take this kind lady's money, but maybe I could take yours. But maybe I could take a battle with young Garnet instead. How about it, kid? I'll be waiting in the garage if you're up for it.
Oh, please, Garnet, won't you give the gentleman his battle? I can't stand leaving this debt unpaid.
That stick-in-the-mud Graham's been teaching me more than just bacon. We've been battling plenty, too. I'll show you some of the tricks I've picked up.
I'll still win. Also, you battling him, you primarily use ground type, he primarily uses fire. You have the advantage, sir.
Let's get this Pokemon battle going.
Buddy, don't you think you got enough stealth rocks?
Come on, Excadrill, time to show this kid what your drill can do.
Still bothers me that the thumbs are modeled into the hands. They're not able to move separately. They are just big mittens where the thumb can't move. I want the thumb to be able to still move.
Excadrill still couldn't get past your defenses, eh? Huh, ain't that just typical? But admit it, me and Excadrill gave you a run for your money, eh?
Stunfisk was the closest thing to actually harming me. So, no, you and Excadrill did not.
We all owe you big time, kid. Growing stronger to put up a real challenge in battle is just my small way of showing you my appreciation.
Well, I guess you haven't shown me your appreciation because you did not put up a real challenge in battle.
Well, consider me paid in full, ma'am. I think it's high time this ring made its way back home.
Garnet. I was so distraught when I lost my husband and we never found his ring. But now our two rings are back together at last. I'll treasure them and all my memories of them. Goodness, you found both my own lost ring and my husband's ring. You truly are a wonder, Garnet.
Gotta admit, it's a weight off my shoulders, too, having that ring back where it belongs.
Sorry, Kanari, your grandpa, he just asked for a battle out there. I really should have told him that battling immediately outside your streaming room is rude. It's going to create all kinds of noise, especially with this, you know, open aperture you got here. This room isn't very soundproof, do you know that? But yeah, it's very inconsiderate of him to do that when you might be streaming. But apparently you don't even care.
A life without a true rival isn't worth living.
Feeling okay?
Of course not. That's why I need you to become my rival.
Sorry, bud.
I know. It's a lot to ask from a stranger, but just hear me out. You and I were born on the same day. As children, we chose to raise the same Pokemon, Charcadet.
Neither one of those things is true.
But depending on the item its trainer uses, this Pokemon can evolve into two different species. And we could not let our Charcadet remain Charcadet always. No, fated rivals such as you and I cannot walk the same path forever. So we parted ways, one of us choosing to evolve Charcadet into Armarouge, the other, Ceruledge. That was that, until destiny called and our paths crossed again. On that fateful day, we decided to pit Ceruledge against Armarouge, a battle to determine once and for all which of us is the greater trainer.
Ceruledge has the advantage there.
Wouldn't that just be the best story? I've always wanted a life like that, but I don't have a rival born on the same day as me. Or even a friend. That's why I need you to become my rival, please. I've already got the auspicious armor and the malicious armor we need to evolve Charcadet. I'll give you whichever one you want, so please evolve a Charcadet and help me finally live out the fateful battle of my dreams.
Well, I'll go ahead and take the malicious armor.
Just let me know whenever you decide which set of armor you want.
Give me malicious. Because if the goal is to battle mine against yours, I'll take the advantage, please. Also, I like Cerulege better, even though I know Armor Rouge is generally better competitively, thanks to expanding force being a thing.
The malicious armor. So you're going to evolve your Charcadet into Cerulege. Then I'll use the auspicious armor to evolve my Charcadet here into Armor Rouge. Here we go, Charcadet. The day has come for you to wield that blazing crimson power. Now we must fight to the finish. You with only your Cerulege and I with only my Armor Rouge.
It's gonna be a bit. I don't have a Charcadet.
Oh, right. We haven't looked at these since day broke. There's Capsicid. So I do need Capsicid for an actual mission. Hopefully I can find an alpha. That would be nice.
For a moment, I thought we were indoors, but no, just a Pokemon Center. So, 20 Sparklies, we have to use the catch window.
We only get 3 arrows on these guys when they failed.
But the catch window has been used. Thankfully, there are a bunch of Sparklies up here. And there we go. Now I gotta find the golden ball. There it is. And not quite where I was expecting to be taken.
But honestly, probably for the better. Would have loved to find an alpha capsicid, but I don't think we got time for that at this point. And we got to pop into one more distortion to get our research level up. So let's find one that gives me something I don't got. Cubone is a decent choice. Though, I think I will go for the Yamask. It hasn't been possible to find wild Unovan Yamask, I think, since Unova. We have been able to find wild Galarian Yamask, though, so at least there have been some Yamask available. Ah, there's the distortion. I probably don't need to bother with catching Power Ghost. And already in combat. Okay, floating Pokeballs. Pick up Sparklies. Destroy Sludge. Easy. I kind of love being able to use Thunderbolt to snipe Destructibles. Just use the Move Greninja. I don't know how many I've actually succeeded in catching so far, but
Excuse you? You got 4 arrows. Stay in the ball. There we go. Now I can be certain I've gotten at least 3. I don't know why I wanted 3 instead of 2, but whatever. And now to find the golden ball. Didn't mean to fall down there, but oh well. The ball, I didn't see the golden ball up on the roof, and in fact, I do see it right here, so I think we're good. We got what we came for. In fact, the only way I could be more satisfied with what we've gotten in here is if we found a freaking alpha mask. Because while completing the dex is good and important, completing the alpha dex is better.
Fine work out there. You've accumulated enough points to advance our research. There's also a particular hyperspace distortion we ask that you look into. I've marked it on your map. Best of luck.
Alright, time to go take care of that and then call it a stream. In hope, well, and hope, that they don't take the donut shop away from us again.
Okay, here we go into Hyperspace Lumios.
So this one gives us a lot less time, but it'll probably be fine.
Why are we in a sushi restaurant?
And why are we so small?
And why is everything way too big? This place is really glitched out. Whoa, Garnet, look, in the middle of the battle court.
Tatsugiri? Yeah, we're good. Gotta say, the curly form isn't looking so curly. Droopy is droopy and stretchy is stretchy, but curly is not looking curly.
Whoever made this sushi platter was really committed to their vision, or to doing a bit. This sushi isn't gonna Mega Evolve, is it? Come on, you know that's not how it works. Is Mega Evolution a joke to you or something?
Oh, hi, Tatsugiri.
It's all three.
Very mobile. We've got row missiles coming our way. Well, that's lame. I guess we did need more time. Or rather, we needed it to not move around so much. Or to drop any of the freaking time-stoppy thingies. Or for this game to not handle targeting and moving of our Pokemon like it does. Like, if they let our Pokemon just use its moves from where it's standing instead of needing to move when it's perfectly capable of landing its moves from where it's standing, they shouldn't make it have to move. Saving my Mega Meter by having Gardevoir not be out for this. Lost sight of the sushi. There we go. Tatsugiri Night instead of just Tatsugirite.
Battling Mega Tatsugiri might have been easier if I weren't so hungry. Karina, you could think about food in a battle that fierce? Respect. Not bad, you three. The Rogue Mega Evolution readings have disappeared. Go on and give yourselves a break while we start combing through this data. Hopefully we'll have some new learnings to share tomorrow. That makes 3 times we found one of these gold bonus balls after battling a rogue Pokemon. Guess it's not a coincidence.
Time to get some better butter to make the batter better. And are we going to call this ultra butter? Oh, no, we are not.
That butter sure looks amazing. Might as well call it amazing butter, huh? I don't get why we've been finding butter when we calm these rogue Pokemon. But at least Ansha should be able to whip up some even better donuts with it. Yeah, Ansha and the others are waiting for us. Let's get back to Hotel Z, Garnet. Hey Ansha, we found another cool hyperspace souvenir.
How wonderful. I'll be glad to use it. Now that we're all back, I think it's dinner time. Listen, remember Corbeau and Philippe's theory about hyperspace Lumios?
Yeah, the memories thing?
Right, how hyperspace Lumios seems to reflect subconscious thoughts and memories. I was skeptical, but after seeing that giant sushi, I don't know, maybe they're right. Does that mean hyperspace Lumios is made up of everyone's dreams or something?
If it were everyone's dreams, it'd be even more chaotic than it already is.
Part of me wants to see what ridiculous chaos a dream world could produce. But I guess we can't let hyperspace Lumios keep getting more out of hand. Besides, Pokemon Dream World closed like 15 years ago or something. Oh! What's up? I just realized maybe Ansha saw that legendary Pokemon because hyperspace Lumios was reflecting her dreams or wishes or something. Perhaps you're onto something, Lita. But would that mean hyperspace Lumios does indeed reflect our dreams? And if so, why? Yeah, still a mystery. Which is why Team MZ is gonna get to the bottom of things. So everyone eat up, we can't investigate on empty stomachs. Agreed.
Can we have something different, like, at all? Having this every night is gonna get to be a bit much.
Are the surveys of hyperspace Lumios making progress?
Yes, ma'am. The Rust Syndicate is working with admirable fervor, to say nothing of Team MZ.
Yet it seems the situation may be evolving even more rapidly than we anticipated.
But is it mega evolving?
But those children are the ones with whom AZ entrusted our future. We can trust them too.
Indeed. I suppose our duty as their elders is to believe in them and offer support.
Please, Vinny, hadn't you better leave the elder talk to me?
I beg your pardon, ma'am, as you say.
Hey, I've been wondering, who's the stronger trainer between the two of you?
Me. There's no I guess about it. It's me.
I can buy that. You sure battle well in hyperspace Lumios. Now I've got a question for you, Karina. What do you do when you're not surveying hyperspace? I stay on my grind. Gotta keep training so we can help those poor rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon. These days, I'm focused on finding Mega Evolution users to battle. Must be nice living in Lumios all year round. There's so much Mega Evolution happening. Do you think you could help with my training, Karina? My partner can Mega Evolve. Come to think of it, so can Naveen's. Wait, where is Naveen? Probably sleeping off an all-nighter doing fashion sketches or something. Oh no, that won't do. We need Naveen well-rested and healthy.
Why? He hasn't been helping.
I'm sure he'll be rolling out of bed and coming down to see us soon. In fact, that must be him now.
Nope, it's just Scrafty.
Huh? That's Naveen's Scrafty, right? Did it come down here because something's up with Naveen? I hope he's okay. We'd better go check on him up in room 203. Naveen's Scrafty can use the elevator on its own. How impressive.
All right, so we have to do this before we are allowed donuts.
Naveen, knock knock. We're gonna come in if you don't answer us. We sure about this? Naveen definitely won't be happy about us barging in. How else are we supposed to check up on him? We're coming in, Naveen.
Where could it have gone?
Naveen? Lita? And you two, what are you doing in here? Well, when your Scrafty came downstairs without you, we obviously got a little worried. It sounds like you're looking for something? I really hoped I wouldn't have to involve you in this. My most precious Canary plush has gone missing. I've been combing my room for it. It's awful. I appreciate your sympathy. I would appreciate it even more if you left it at that. Wouldn't it be faster if we helped? You might think so. But that would risk someone else's hands actually touching my precious Canary plush. I can't blame Scrafty for being concerned and coming to get you, but I'll be fine.
Have you checked inside Gulpin?
Okay, whatever. Do you think you'll find your little doll and rejoin society anytime soon?
Excuse you, my Canary plush, you mean?
If your Canary doll's that important to you, why didn't you put it away where it'd be kept safe?
It's a Canary plush.
And I had it out where I could admire it any time. I would not have moved it from its spot.
But have you checked inside Gulpin?
Huh? That's our new Gulpin guest, isn't it? Don't tell me. You ate it? Aw, it looks more like your plush fell and rolled under the bed and Gulpin found it. Thank you, Gulpin. What a relief to have my precious Canary plush back. Morning, team. We went through the data from the Tatsugiri you caught it that was going rogue. Took us all night. Plus a platter of my homemade sushi. Time for you lot to haul yourselves to our office again for a briefing. See you soon. All right, Garnet, let's get Karina and head to the Rust Syndicate office. Hope the briefing goes okay. We'll keep Ansha company here. Okay, we are allowed to make donuts now. Are we allowed to use them? That is the next important question. Okay, Mime Jr. and Mr. Mime. We've got Igglybuff and Jigglypuff. That's Strudel again. Oh, hey, look, Grovyle. Gulpin. Cryogonal. Farfetch'd. I do need a Farfetch'd, so that's going to be where we go. To check if we are allowed in those yet. Or if we have to go to the Rust Syndicate first. We have to go to the Rust Syndicate first. It's weird that we're allowed to make donuts but not use them yet. Why do you keep this place so dark and gloomy, Corbeau? It'd look magnificent in proper lighting. I like to keep things calm. The dark suits me, hence my dark suit.
That was a joke, right? It was until you ruined it by asking. Let's just cut to the chase. Looking at the data we got from you catching the Tatsugiri that had gone rogue, well, I won't sugarcoat it. The Prism Tower situation's still one big mystery. Have a look for yourself. Yep, that sure does still show the exact same thing it's been showing this entire time. Hyperspace Lumios is continuing to bleed into regular Lumios. Possibly because of that giant distortion over the tower, but I can't say for sure. At this rate, the whole city might get swallowed up by Hyperspace Lumios. We need to find out what's causing this and stop Hyperspace Lumios from spreading. We do. Unfortunately, there's still a whole lot left for us to survey.
These ought to be of some help in your research, Garnet.
I keep telling you they won't. I do not use those. There's actually a bit of good news, too. Thanks to all your hard work, we can now detect higher-level hyperspace distortions. We can now detect them. That implies that we weren't able to detect them before, but they were still there. And that sounds like a problem. Hyperspace Lumios awaits your surveying. Good luck out there. Alright, looks like now we should be able to get back to surveying. Just going to check real quick to make sure we can. And if we can, then I'm still not going to. But we can. Alright. So, I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream here. Thanks, folks, for dropping by to watch and chat and all that. And I will be back, actually, tomorrow for a Rare Monday stream. Because, yeah, the thing that I usually do on Mondays isn't a thing this week. So yeah, tomorrow. See you then, friends.